As we are heading into the new year, January is looking to be a pretty good month of game releases, and what we've been doing with every month now is we take a look at the games that I would personally recommend you to buy and what games I think you would be better off waiting for a sale on. As it has become very evident recently, games go on sale rather quickly, so dropping a full $59.99 on a lot of titles doesn't make a lot of sense. Hell, dropping a $49.99 or even $39.99 on some of the budget titles doesn't make a lot of sense because those will go on sale really quickly too. That's what I really try to hammer home in this series, what games that are truly worth your $59.99 or what games that are priced accordingly, and then what games I feel you're better off waiting for a sale on and waiting for a deeper discount. Without further ado, let's get started with the buy games. As always, we're gonna look at 3 games to buy, 7 games to skip, so let's get started. First up in the buy section, I gotta mention Kingdom Hearts 3. Look, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you've been waiting for this game going back to like 2005. You can drop $59.99 on it, even though I have my skepticism as far as how quality-filled this game will be. Square Enix has been really hit or miss recently, and it's really been more miss as far as their Japanese titles go, and with the long development time of Kingdom Hearts 3, that just raises a lot of questions. However, if you're worried about pricing issues, Final Fantasy 15 retained its price for quite a while. It really didn't start plummeting in price until the Royal Edition was released, and I figure the same will happen with Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe you'll get some small discounts, but I don't foresee it dropping to the $30 level anytime soon after its release. And anyway, if you're the kind of person that's looking to pick up Kingdom Hearts 3, chances are you're a longtime fan of the series, and this is one game where I think the pricing really goes out the window. You're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you're gonna buy Kingdom Hearts 3, that's why I had to put Kingdom Hearts 3 in the buy category. Moving on from that, also want to put Resident Evil 2 Remake in the buy section. Now, this is kind of one you could go 50-50 on. I feel like some are gonna wait for a sale on this one. However, I foresee this game just being filled with quality. Unlike Kingdom Hearts 3, I have almost no skepticism with the Resident Evil 2 Remake. First of all, Resident Evil 2 was a tremendous game, and what we've seen thus far of the remake has looked absolutely outstanding, and it looks like Capcom is doing a really great job transitioning from that old Resident Evil 2 game into the modern technology, and it's making that transition very smoothly. I expect a very good survival horror game, and the only reason not to get it is if you're not into survival horror games for whatever reason. Will it go on sale quickly? I honestly don't think it will go on sale that quickly. I do foresee this game doing very well from a sales standpoint. That anticipation really is there. If you're tracking the metrics about the Resident Evil 2 Remake, there's definitely a groundswell of hype developing for the game, and if you're even a little bit hesitant, do remember that a demo will be coming for the game, so that'll offer you 30 minutes of game time from the Resident Evil 2 Remake. That might be something to check out to really hammer home that point of whether or not this game is a buy or wait for a sale. For me, it's an absolute buy. And lastly, as a buy coming next month is Onimusha Warlords. Now, Onimusha Warlords gets it right because while it's a remastering of a PlayStation 2 title, they get the pricing right. It's not $39.99, God forbid it being $49.99, it's coming at you at a cheap $19.99. And that's really the price the game should have been. Onimusha was a great game back on the PlayStation 2. It's a franchise a lot of us have wanted to see make a comeback, but for a long time Capcom felt that that wasn't a series they could go back into, but now we're getting another Onimusha title, and I fully expect that if this game does well from a sales standpoint, that we will get a brand new Onimusha title. It's just that we have to see this game sell well. I feel like Okami HD sold pretty well, and we haven't heard anything about a new Okami title, so who knows on that. Whatever the case may be, Onimusha 1 was a very good game, and seeing it on the PlayStation 4 is going to be great, and again, priced at $19.99, that is perfect. And it's not the crazy pricing that we've seen other older titles being remastered. I mean, you'll see games that are 15 years old being remastered on the PlayStation 4, and they'll come out for $49.99. Come on, that's a bit excessive. Onimusha Warlords at $19.99 is a great buy. Moving on from that, now we go over all of the games to wait for a sale on, and this one I had to put a lot of games that I'm actually personally very excited for, but I have to come at this from an objective viewpoint, and let's get started with a game that might be a little bit controversial from the get-go, and that is Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, the latest game in the Ace Combat franchise, a game that we've been waiting for a while. Of course, on the PS4, it's going to have some PlayStation VR content. However, when you compare the competition in January, there's Kingdom Hearts 3, there's Resident Evil 2 Remake, I just don't see Ace Combat 7 faring all too well from a sales standpoint. I do see this game disappointing a little bit from a sales standpoint. Critically, it might be very good. We've heard that there's going to be 50 hours of content in the game if you want to do everything, but this is one game where I do really see it come April or May time, it being down to, $34.99, $29.99 even. So I think the best bet would be to wait for a sale on. But hey, if you've been a long-time Ace Combat fan, I'm not going to judge you for dropping $59.99 on Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. The game is shaping up really well. It's just that based on the metrics that I'm seeing anything, I could see this game going on sale rather quickly. Moving on from that, and this is one that pains me to put it as a wait for sale, as it's one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition. If I'm coming at this from a complete personal standpoint, I would tell you absolutely go buy Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I played this all the way back in 2008, and it was a tremendous JRPG with an awesome cast of characters, a lot of content, a great story. However, let's just face the facts with the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. This game is a 10-year-old game, over a 10-year-old game. It released in August of 2008 for the Xbox 360. Now, it should be noted that this is the superior PlayStation 3 version that we're getting, and of course, visually, it does look better. But at the end of the day, it is a 10-year-old game, and I just can't justify dropping $49.99 on a 10-year-old game. Now, it should also be noted, as far as if this game will be discounted, I don't know about that either, as these more niche JRPGs tend to hold their value for quite a while. The Tales of games in past years have usually held up in value. At this point, you can get Tales of Vesperia pretty cheap, but for a long time, that game had held up in value. Value-wise, I do foresee Tales of Vesperia holding up for a little bit, but even then, the best bet might be to wait on for a sale for if you are super into JRPGs. Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably the game you're going to be checking out in January anyway. That'll keep you busy for a while, and then after you're done with that game, we'll see how the price of Vesperia Definitive Edition holds out on, but again, $49.99 for a decade-old game just can't justify that. Moving on from that, another one of my personal favorite JRPGs that is just being excessively priced, and that is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Now, this is part one of a 4-part series, and The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel has been available for quite a while. It released on the PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3, and PC, and I believe on all of those platforms it was released at $39.99. So it released at $39.99 a long time ago, but now it comes to the PlayStation 4 with a heftier price tag of $49.99. Let's be real, that is a bit too expensive for this game. It should be $29.99, at most it should be $39.99. Yes, I get that this game is filled with content, I get that it's one of the more in-depth JRPGs that you're gonna find, with some of the best character development, world building, and overall narrative that you're gonna see in any video game, not just a JRPG. The world building in this game is absolutely tremendous. However, it is an older game, it is priced at $49.99, which I think is just too expensive. However, just like Vesperia Definitive Edition, I do see it holding up in value for a little while. Again, with these niche JRPGs, they just sometimes don't go down in price. Look at a game like Tokyo Xanadu. That game, after so long of being released, is still relatively expensive. I believe that Vesperia and Cold Steel are going to be like that, where they do hold up in value for quite a while, but still, value-wise, you're getting a lot of content here, but at the end of the day, these are super old games and they should not be priced as highly as they are. Moving on from that, Genesis Alpha 1 is another sale. This game is set in a near future ravaged by wars, corrupt regimes, and devastating pollution. Influential corporations have created the Genesis program in a last-ditch attempt to save humanity. Now, this game looks pretty interesting. I've been following it for quite a while. Unfortunately, it's been hit with a couple of delays, and whenever you have one of these smaller, low-key titles going through some development hurdles, you always have to raise some skepticism there. It could be a pretty interesting game, but also a game I don't foresee doing all too well from a sales standpoint, and one that I do see getting discounted rather quickly, so Genesis Alpha 1 definitely one to wait for a sale on. Next up is a game that I was almost going to put in the buy category just because I'm personally really excited for it, but a game that I don't think the entire gaming community is sold on, and that is Vane. Vane has you set out on an epic story of transformation where shifting between the perspectives of a bird and a child will be key to unravel the land's mysteries and create a path forward through the barren landscape. The remnants of the world react to your passage, evolving and building into something altogether different. Vane is giving me a lot of vibes of a That Game Company title such as Journey or Flower, and I see it being a very emotionally impactful experience. However, at the same time, just like Genesis Alpha 1, I feel like that groundswell of hype isn't there for Vane. I feel like a lot of gamers don't know about it. Another title I see either going on sale rather quickly or being a PlayStation Plus title in the future. I could see Genesis Alpha 1 being a Plus title in the future as well. That's why for now, I would say hold out on it, but do be on the lookout for Vane, as I do see it being a title that's going to surprise a lot of people. Moving on from that and rounding this list out, we're going to take a look at two VR titles that I would say wait for a sale on both of them, as VR titles are getting discounted rather quickly. You look at a game like Creed Rise to Glory, that was a big promoted VR title, but it's going on sale. I believe it's $15 right now and it just released. So first up, we have A Fisherman's Tale, and this has you bend and twist reality in a mind-bending VR puzzle game adventure in which being turned upside down and inside out is not merely a play on words. You play as Bob, a tiny fisherman puppet, and you live alone in your tiny cabin, oblivious to the world outside, when your radio radio broadcasts a storm alert, you have to get to the top of the lighthouse and turn on the light. But as you try to leave your cabin with the help of some uncanny sidekicks, you realize what's waiting outside is not at all what you expected. Again, the game looks pretty interesting, but unless you are one of the top tier VR titles like a Firewall 0 Hour or an Astrobot Rescue Mission, these games are going on sale really quickly, and I foresee something relatively similar happening with A Fisherman's Tale. And lastly, another VR title, Megalith. Megalith has you choose from one of the 5 starting Titans and work in teams of 2 to take on other Titans in battle. The Titans each wield unique powers and abilities derived from their origin. And these abilities can be used alone, but become even more effective when coordinated with an ally, so definitely a team-oriented game, so that's a little interesting. We've seen team-based VR titles work like Firewall 0 Hour. This game is another interesting title, but based on what I'm noticing so far, it's getting lost in the shuffle quite a bit, so I don't see it doing all too well from a commercial standpoint and going on sale rather quickly. But another game if you want a team-oriented VR title, which there does seem to be a market for, Megalith is one to keep an eye on. So that's gonna conclude this video. I hope I was able to come at this as objective as possible. Again, personally speaking, I'm super excited for Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel is awesome. However, just knowing what those games are, being that they are older titles, they were released on other platforms cheaper in the case of Cold Steel, you just can't justify dropping $49.99 on them, especially in the case of Vesperia being a decade-old game. But that's gonna conclude this video. We're definitely interested in hearing what you guys think, what games you're planning on picking up, and sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.